to come and have a chat to us. This is very bad news for you and the rest of the team, isn't it? Yeah, I don't work. Yeah, bad news, buddy. The same for everybody. So, and so, what was your run plan for today? What were you hoping to try and do during the 60-minute session that we have for practice? But actually, you know, the first thing is a proper baseline run, which I think everybody has done. Well, checking the car, checking the track. There seems to be not a lot of grip from the surface, but it's just a normal homework that you try to do in the baseline. The track is turned green now again after this more interruption, so I think there's not so much disruption to it. That's good. What do you know of the track surface from these early stages? What have the drivers been saying? And the fact that we've had that bitumen paint down, how much of a surprise was that to you before you came? Yeah, you're right. There was not so much information coming here on the surface itself. We discovered this yesterday on the track inspection. The drivers have reported low grip. You see the lap times out are quite far from lap time or expected lap time. So I think there needs to be a bit of rubbering in over the next laps, and then it would be interesting in qualifying to see the track improvement and the driver improvement. So yeah, something to look for. Yeah, absolutely. Do you worry a bit, Mike, that we'll have a racing line with lots of grip, and then offline it won't get the chance to grip in a bit, and that might make overtaking a bit more tricky for the races? Yeah, I understand the concern, but on the other hand, the overtaking is normally on the main straights, so where the DRS is. So I think through the corners, it's probably true that it's for other circuits that the rubber line is the most grippy one. So mainly on the straights, I think we do not see that procession. Mike, it's Nico here. This is a very different topic. You just confirmed your one driver Fernando, which is super. When can we expect you to confirm Yes, something that I'm not really thinking about during a session, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, Aston Martin is Lance's home, so and we want continuity. So I think, yeah, over the next week or so, I think it's enough. It sounds to very much book a place on the discussion table, shall we say. 7/10 off Carlos Sainz in the first sector. Now I know he's been on these tyres before. I've done a lap on him before, but 7/10 off, quite a long way down. Yeah, and he just had a lot of oversteer there in that high speed corner, unusual balance there. Not looking like in a good place to on that car. Let's see how it goes when we exit here. Still on the steering wheel and went way too far off there because he's used to the turn. They have to adapt. Well spoken again, turn 10, but of course we don't know what fuel level they're running. I mean, so far off in the first sector, it could be that they're just running a lot more fuel at the moment. Is it soft tire a race tire? Should it be a race tire for this weekend? Would you run it on heavy fuel in this session just to see? That is like impossible. You're but they're rough, I don't know. Impossible to tell the old Zeddy running teams know where you could stop it. So, yeah, don't know what to say to that. Well, I'm speculating. Could it be a race tire? What's the opportunity? Why not? Yeah. You're the cleverest man I know. So I lost this, but that's the number. You must not know many people by now. I have no friends whatsoever, if you will, man. His Carlos side's running wide at 10-10 again. There's that new bit of gravel that is been put in. We're giving a big thumbs up for a chant-off to these gravel traps that have been brought a little bit closer to the track. Hallelujah, we love gravel traps at the end of the track. It takes away that nonsense arguments for the fact that we have all the time, isn't it? We need more than this stuff that happens at the edge of the track. I just pick out a couple of things. I'm listening in on the team radio in here. I think the drivers, the grid level is coming, but just as a reference though, from 2019 to today, in Bahrain, they were 1.3 seconds slower. So we know, I think you said a 33.9 would definitely won in 2019, that's right. So we should be in the low 35s, whereas, and as Mike Clark said, we're still about 3 seconds from that. That tells you where the tarmac is in the grid level. Cheers, Corinne. Thank you for that. Charles Leclerc improves to go 4th fastest overall. The 8 seconds off the pace. It seems like Carlos Sainz currently 13th fastest. Carlos Sainz out on the track a few moments ago. This was a turn 10, one of 3 corners, but he brought the gravel closer to the side of the track. Carlos Sainz finding out exactly where that gravel was, picking up a large plume of dust into the sky. And they put out the small fire by the side of the track, and so we can get back on with the racing now, the practice now, I should say. This is George Russell on the hard side for Mercedes. He stays 20th and slowest so far with a 1:41.1 as his best time. Mercedes putting their drivers on the hard tires who start this session. Others like Ferrari going on the soft, on the mediums as well. Real mixture of tires out on this track currently. Real mixture of tires and expenditure. I mean, Mercedes is probably the most easy to understand and obvious one. That they started with the high tire and high fuel just to get their race balance sorted, and then they will go for some qualifying practice at the end of the session. Whereas the others are really doing whole mixing. Yes, sprint qualifying later today, so they will use medium tire before the soft tire. The first 2 parts of sprint qualifying is medium, then we have soft for the final top 10 on that one. So you can understand some of the medium tire runners out there to get a feel if they're on low fuel, of course. I mean, we don't know what the fuel levels are currently. What we do know is that there seems to be low grip, which is not a surprise because it is the first practice session, and the track will be nice and fresh, especially after the rain that we had the other day. Lewis Hamilton at top trying to get temperature into his time. Next Max Verstappen last, who's not on who is on a lap, I should say. And then it all gets a little bit stucky there with Nico Hulkenberg, who I think wanted to get past as well. And that was not very friendly. Nico Hulkenberg will not be happy with that. And now he's locked up for everybody to go and Lewis got what he did. And at the last minute realised he had to stay to the right coming into the pits there. I think there's a pro arm that the drivers have to stay to the right. That was introduced by the race director overnight. Lewis has to go a bit closer to that gravel trap. Anyway, Nico Hulkenberg will not be happy to stand up. Because I didn't know he didn't see him at all because he was right behind the Red Bull. And they just ran him off the track. And Lewis has done a drive-through into the pits there, which makes me think that wasn't a planned entrance into the pits either for Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, look what I said, and it looked like a lock-up into the point there, and I'm not sure. Well, let's have a look at it up. So he's already held up. Yeah, he locked up. Oh, there's a McLaren in the way, and also there's a whole mess going on there. Wow. Yeah, I was right. It looked very weird, and it was a lock-up. And it wasn't fiasco. So well pointed out by Bono on that one. We've only been away for 5 years. Lewis Hamilton, one of the more experienced drivers. We're going to have full weekend. But last year, it was only a 10th across all, I think it was 28 qualifying sessions between the sprints and the thing. So far, Bottas has had quite a bit of an advantage over Joe this season. Talking of advances, Max Verstappen with a 1:39.4, still the fastest driver, but now by only 11 milliseconds from Fernando Alonso. Of course, secured the Constructors' Championship for Renault back in 2005 when he won here. Was sat next to Joe Blagneer at the press conference yesterday. Joe said, I can remember watching the first race here in 2004, cheering on my heroes. One of them was Fernando Alonso. Can't quite believe I'm now sat next to him, and I'll be on the grid in my home race with him on Sunday. Fernando Alonso here for another couple of years as well, which I'm sure will please Aston Martin. Now by then, the sporting director Andy Stevenson had signed a contract to remain with the team. And then he did yesterday when it will probably be his last contract in Formula 1, but he's 45. 45 by the end of it, yeah. But he didn't say probably. Yeah, I didn't say definitely. So So he left the door open to continue to the finish. The only man who said definitely was you, and you stuck to it. You never wanted to come back. You found it very easy to give up this racing habit. I think Fernando Alonso would find it less easy. No, it's never easy. I didn't find it easy either. But yeah, certainly Fernando looks like he's still very much enjoying the racing and the lifestyle. So good for him. And it's amazing. At his age, I mean, he's going to be 42 years old very, very soon. Across, we wouldn't have full weekends, but last year it was only a 10th across all, I think it was 28 qualifying sessions in the thing. So far, Podcast has had quite a bit of an advantage over Joe this season. Talking of advantage, Max Verstappen with 139.4, still the fastest driver, but now by only 11 milliseconds from Fernando Alonso. Of course, secured the Constructors' Championship for Renault back in 2005 when he won here. Was sat next to Joe Guanyu in the press conference yesterday. Joe said, I can remember watching the first race here in 2004, cheering on my heroes, one of whom was Fernando Alonso. Can't quite believe I'm now sat next to him, and I'll be on the grid in my home race with him on Sunday. And Fernando Alonso here for another couple of years as well, which I'm sure will please Aston Martin. My left, the sporting director Andy Stevenson has signed a contract to remain with the team. And then hinted yesterday that it's will probably be his last contract in Formula 1, but I think it'll be 45. 45 by the end of it. But he didn't say probably. Yeah, didn't say definitely. So he left the door open to continue to the finish. The only man who said definitely was you, and you stuck to it. You never wanted to come back. And you found it very easy to give up this racing habit. I think Fernando Alonso would find it less easy. No, it's never easy. I didn't find it easy either. But yeah, certainly Fernando looks like he's still very much enjoying the racing and the lifestyle, so good for him. And it's amazing, at his age. I mean, he's going to be 43 years old very, very soon. Yeah, he is still absolutely at the top of the game, and so it's brilliant to see. 43 years old, Peru, in July, Fernando Alonso. I think Croffy, he kind of, maybe Nico, like your thoughts as well, but I feel like Fernando is the first of the drivers in that post-Michael Schumacher generation where they came in and Michael raised the bar, right, in fitness and just a level of professionalism. And Fernando, when he arrived in 2001, he's been training hard for 20 odd years. So really, yeah, okay, the numbers is 45, but he hasn't got the fitness or body of an average 45-year-old, and that's why I think he can still keep going. Well, in this era of the sport, and we won't have full weekend, across all, I think it was 28 qualifying sessions between the sprints and the thing. So, so far, Bottas has had quite a bit of an advantage over Joe this season. Talking of advantage, Max Verstappen with a 139.4, still the fastest driver, but now by only 11 milliseconds from Fernando Alonso. Of course, secured the Constructors' Championship for Renault back in 2005 when he won here. Was sat next to Joe Guanyu at the press conference yesterday. Joe said, I can remember across all, I think it was 28 qualifying sessions between the sprints and the thing. So, so far, Bottas has had quite a bit of an advantage over Joe this season. Talking of advantage, Max Verstappen with a 139.4, still the fastest driver, but now by only 11 milliseconds from Fernando Alonso. Who, of course, secured the Constructors' Championship for Renault back in 2005 when he won here. Was sat next to Joe Guanyu at the press conference yesterday. Joe said, I can remember watching the first race here in 2004, cheering on my heroes, one of whom was Fernando Alonso. Can't quite believe I'm now sat next to him, and I'll be on the grid in my home race with him on Carlos Sainz out on the track a few moments ago. This was a turn 10, one of 3 corners, but they brought the gravel closer to the side of the track. And Carlos Sainz finding out exactly where that gravel was and picking up a large plume of dust into the sky. They put out the smoke fire by the side of the track, and so we can get back on with the racing now. The practice now is very secure Russell on the hard side for Mercedes.